G'day, mates, and good morning. Holy moly, it is a Sunday morning. Reality NSFW Aftershow talking episodes 17 and 18 from last week. Just schedules with Survivor Season 42. We got Big Brother Canada. We have, we're on our Patreon, we have the coverage of 2019's Australian Survivor season. So much going on. If you want to become a patron, go to adfreeNSFW.com. If you're looking for links to watch these episodes, go to adfreeNSFW.com to get links to watch Australian Survivor Blood versus Water with us. That's Dan Montchal. I'm Jonny Fairplay. Boom! Let's talk Survivor Australia Blood versus Water 2022, episodes 17 and 18.
Let's go.
Woo! Nice and early. Oh man, we'll see. We'll see who all's commenting with us. All right, so we start off. Shay worries in Purgatory. It's dry, desolate, and crappy. She's alone, scared, and empty. The rocks. There's rocks. There's hard dirt. However, she builds a badass shelter better than most people I've ever seen on Naked and Afraid.
Yeah, I don't know if she had supplies there, or if she was just busting her ass, but that looks pretty nice.
Well, that's the curious thing. I mean, you look there, it is, dry, desolate, crappy, all these things. And I don't see, like where did she get the foliage to build the shelter that she did?
Yeah, you don't see anything there. Like, oh, let me just run into the woods. From what we're seeing on the shots, it looks like there is nothing there. You just have a bunch of rocks, and that's about it.
Well, I'm imagining you go half a mile down the road, and there might be some stuff. And if that's the case, why don't you just build your shelter there?
Yeah, you'd think that would make more sense. Or
I don't think you're allowed to, but like I'd be like, I don't see rule like it. I'm pretty sure it does not say in your contract if you go to Purgatory, you're gonna have to live on shit island. So
yeah, I don't know. The only other thing that I could think of is if maybe they kind of had a makeshift already set up there, like you used to see on the Redemption Island seasons, where there was already like kind of a crappy makeshift. I can't speak this morning. Makeshift shelter already there.
Yeah. So no, it was impressive. I mean, because we see her, even if the supplies are there, Shay's putting the supplies together and making. I could imagine 50% of the cast from US, Australia, wherever, having those same supplies and just being like, yeah, I guess I don't have a shelter.
Yeah, I mean, Shay does seem like one of those people that actually would put in the work, and she seems like a hard worker.
Yeah, she's badass. She's
she's insane.
She's hot as fuck.
So. She gets hotter as the season goes on.
She does. She gets island hot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of girls over the years that have gotten island hot, and Shay is one of them.
Very much.
She started hot.
She did, but it's not the same as when the season started.
Island hot is a multiplier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like I like to go to places where there's like a bunch of nerds. I'm like, what's up? like at E3, I'm a pretty tough motherfucker.
I can see that.
I go anywhere else, I'm getting my ass kicked.
Well, so. I'd probably be in the same boat.
So, hey, you want to go to E3?
Boost that, get that self-confidence up.
It's like eating a Blue Chew, promo code Survivor. We'll tell you more about Blue Chew later. Get ready. So let's see. Sam to Jordy. Sounds like you were trying to blow up our game at Tribal. And Jordy has put a bullseye on Mark at Tribal. But the real target is Sam, because Sam is the one that took Jesse's idol. Okay, stop saying it's Jesse's idol, Jordy. You're the one that found the clue.
Yeah, he's the one that gave it up. And I mean, it's not like she went into his bag and stole it. Like, did she pull off a great move and trick him? Absolutely. But it's not like, I don't know. She didn't do anything that horrible.
And she tracked him for 15 minutes without him knowing. I mean, all this is really amazing. And Sam being accosted on social media is just disgusting. So, I mean,
there's no need for it. I mean, I'm sure you follow her on Instagram too, that people just attacking her for ridiculous things that have nothing to do with the game. I know she's posted a few different things in her stories of, this one guy just bashing every post that she's on. And it's just so uncalled for.
Yeah, just block. So, but yeah, I was hoping to find the. Let's see if I can find my.
It's
comment.
Jonny Fairplay, really?
Whoa! Hey, it's Jonny Fairplay, guys. All right, so I'm seeing she probably even pulled the thread because she's over this loser. Yep, she pulled it. Good for her. So no, she had there was a couple people, one in particular, as you mentioned, that made fun of her nose, and it's just like, you could plow a field with that nose. For the record, Sam is cute as all get out. I think the nose is ridiculously cute as well. And her reply, she was like, "Yeah, I use my nose to sniff out idols and take them from people." and the guy brought in Mark on it, made fun of him, and it was just like, yeah, we collectively use Sam's nose to get us idols and half millions of dollars, and I replied, I was like, and Mark and he does it with military precision.
Of course,
and
it's the only way Mark knows how.
And they both liked the comment. It made me so happy. So I'm hoping that Mark's in on the joke with the military precision. If not, he might he's just like, "You're goddamn right."
I feel like he has to, because he mentions the military a lot, but that's really Jonathan that keeps with the military precision.
Military precision, yeah. So
didn't hear a whole lot of it in these 2 episodes, thankfully.
Did you see Jonathan's St. Patrick's post with him at the bar wearing the green jacket, drinking the green Corona and the glasses?
Yeah.
He looked like a nerd. Like I come there and just like, Jonathan, you're a stud. Why are you posting nerd pics?
Yeah.
And but if you scroll 8 pics down, him without his shirt, being more of a man than us and most of our listeners put together ever. So so it's like, you know what? This he's trying to, whatever nerd pussy's out there, he's like, I might as well get that too.
The thing with these few episodes with Jonathan that made me laugh is it's almost like he forgot that Dave was there. I feel like he just didn't know his name. So that's why he was calling him Juicy, because he kept referring to him as Dave a lot this time and just found other places to insert the Juicy.
Yeah. I don't want anything other than just Juicy Dave when Juicy Dave is being called upon or mentioned in any way. So that's just me. So Chrissy is starting to believe Jordy that Sam has an idol, and Jordy, I got a love-hate relationship with you. I know you're watching and or listening, probably both. If you were ever to go back and play Survivor, any version, US, Australia, can we please change your vernacular to where every other word is not Joker or idol? Because all I hear is the word idol now. Just over.
Yeah, but if you take out this, I guess, annoying words that he uses in his vocabulary, I thought he had a pretty good 2 episodes here. It's one where it's like, hey, I can see why a lot of people would root for him.
I don't know. I don't know if they're rooting for him or me personally. I know that I could never trust him out there, ever.
Yeah.
So, and I think I would like to, but but I'm smart enough to know that I couldn't. But without Jordy on the show's not as good.
No, he's, especially because, these past few episodes, he's really the only one that's plotting against, whatever they're calling the alliance nowadays.
The majority.
And the majority.
Yeah.
And he's at least bringing some excitement and entertainment to it that I feel like you're not getting from half the cast at this point.
Yeah. Are you rooting for Jordy or no?
Not to win, but to stick around for a while.
I can live with that.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I think if he were to, say that he was there was a normal vote off here, I think it would be a boring few episodes if he wasn't there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Agreed. So I don't have a problem with the Jordy win at this point.
No, I'd be all for a Jordy win. I'd still probably like to see a Sam win more. But,
oh yeah, no, I would prefer a Sam win, but I can live with the Jordy. I can't live with the KJ win right now.
KJ or no, Chrissy.
I love Chris. I can live with the Chrissy win. Chrissy's
Yeah.
final jury speech, bring it. She's gonna talk about her mustache, fucking all kinds of shit that has nothing to do with Survivor. It's gonna be great.
That is true.
She's gonna call out Juicy Dave for whatever reason. It'll be great. All right, so Juicy Dave says Jordy is the winner if it ends now, and I'm just like, whoa, there's a look behind the scenes that I don't think a lot of people are thinking. So, but I think it's one of those deals where Australian Survivor, they respect immunity and reward wins.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like that's a vital component of a resume in Australian Survivor.
Well, yeah, and especially going on to what the start of this first episode we're talking about, he's at 4 in a row.
Yeah,
I think with reward and immunity, so he's been on a tear.
Yeah, but like his social game, not that great.
No, but I guess the only thing I can think of is Juicy just going at that point that if Jordy's able to somehow manage to get all the way to the end, then I don't know how you wouldn't vote for him.
I hear you. Hey, guys are waking up. Catherine, good morning. And Thomas Red says, what about Shea winning? I mean, that's Lex's pick to win, and I respect Lex, and I understand the pick. I am not like it. Probably brings the season down for me a couple pegs if we get a Shea win.
Yeah, especially because there's been so many episodes where she's just been invisible. I think the only thing for, I don't know, maybe a middle 6 or 7 episode stretch where I was like, oh, Shea could win this challenge. But outside of that, there was nothing else where I was like, oh man, like she's killing it. She's just kind of been there.
Yeah. So no. Anyway. So back to the episode, and Sam's paranoia is freaking everyone out, and that's where I feel Jordy is playing his best game. It doesn't take much for. I feel like there's a fine line. I feel like Sam's read on the game and what's going on around her is probably better than anyone left in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I feel like this season, Sandra, Nina, and Sam have had the best reads on everything going on around them. However, for Sam, there's a fine line between that perfect read and paranoia.
Yeah, Jordy seems to be pressing all those right buttons because it seems like when he's running around, it really gets in her head.
Yeah, I think he purposely stays within earshot to say like one thing for her to catch, and then like walk
Moves
towards
on
her,
to the
like
next.
going to talk to her, and then veers off to the left or right and does it, and that like button pushing, he is killing it.
Oh yeah, there's. I mean, because I think there's some things like I know we talked about in the last podcast that because she was so paranoid, maybe she missed some of the cues from Chrissy. So I think it's definitely throwing her off a little bit, and she's not picking up on some things that she normally would because she does have that good read on the game.
Yeah, I love it. Kudos to you, Jordy. But I mean, playing, love him or hate him. I respect, understanding, how to. There's ways to fuck with others, and Jordy has figured that out. The scientific term.
It's really shocking that that's something you'd appreciate.
Well, it's in my wheelhouse, I assure you. All right, so it's a reward: 3 bags with 5 balls for an Isuzu MUX, and Jordy's all about this car. He's a car aficionado, and who knew that Isuzu MUX was one of his faves.
Oh, it's one of the ones he said he's been eyeing. So
he has been eyeing it.
Yeah.
So Jonathan on commentary during this challenge, Jordy has all his ball bags. Jonathan is the king of these. Do you think he has a list going in? He's like, all right, I got to work this in.
I'd imagine he'd have to come up with some of this stuff ahead of the time.
Yeah.
But also with how good he is, I think at least half of it has to be on the fly as well.
Half riff, half. I can live with that.
Yeah.
That's Jonny Fairplay. That's this podcast right here, right there. I mean, I got what's happening. Half my jokes, and the other half, I'm just praying come to me. And if they don't, oh well. There's always next week.
Yeah, and I mean, especially anytime the Survivor hosts, they love the ball challenges. It's just right for jokes.
They love the balls. So awesome reward, and this is, I feel, about the happiest I've ever been for someone to win a reward on Survivor. Other than myself and the loved ones challenge, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. But outside of myself.
Yeah, you could really tell he wanted it. And especially if you are, I guess, believe what he said when it was back the first challenge after the merge, where Khan won that reward that was worth, I think it was $60,000. Yeah, and he was talking to Jesse and was like, "This is 3 times what we normally would make in a year." So
yeah, I think combined.
Yeah, so like you can't help but be happy for him because A, he's a car guy, he won the car, and with him being on the bottom, like,
yeah, Australia's so different than the US. Like, I did their version of Comic-Con over there, Armageddon Expo. And I met this chick, and she was like, she goes, "Are you on welfare?" And I go, "Excuse me, no." and she goes, "My dad just got on welfare," and I was like, "Cool." And she goes, "He got a house, he got a truck, and he got a boat." And I was like, "Australian welfare sounds awesome."
I think it was I think it's Hannibal Buress who he had his one sketch about Australia or whatever. It was a guy working at like an aquarium or a zoo who was a photographer that oh yeah, he's and all the crazy trips you were taking to the US, and he's like, yeah, if you work at the aquarium in the US, your vacation is to the aquarium. Like,
right. Your vacation is your 1:45 to 2 p.m. break that day. All right, so spin to the drive-in with nachos and margaritas. Now this was odd for me because Burton won the car on Pearl Islands, and I went with him, and he was just like, "Hey, can you keep this a secret?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, until my final jury speech." I'll be more than happy not tell anyone until then. Curse of the car, Burton won. Give me the money. Oh my God, it would have been the greatest final jury speech between me and Burton. Holy moly,
we were
damn you, Lil. So, but here's the thing. No booze on Pro Islands. Like, so me and Burton, Burton wins the car. We get the reward on the Panamanian ruins, and we have the pig roast and all this other stuff, and we're just like, "Hey, can we get a beer?" And they're like, "No, with on the car reward, they won't allow alcohol to be associated, because drinking and driving."
Yeah.
So, but not so much in Australia. They're like, "Margarita, not only will we bypass the beer, we're giving you straight tequila, brother."
Well, look where they were. I mean, the only thing they could have hit was a rock.
Same with, I guess we drove on the road, but still.
Yeah, I'm sure they had to pass something that resembled civilization along the way. Maybe
not. I feel like they're in the middle of nowhere, but still, like, I think it's they're just like, this will be a better reward. Like, margarita, maybe get some loose lips, maybe a couple porky pies. You never know.
I think they just needed it in hopes that it would actually get Jordan to say something.
Well, that's always necessary. So yes. So it's more fun if you do something with someone else. I always say that, especially at 1 a.m. And so yes, Jordy takes Jordan, Juicy Dave, and Michelle, and it is revealed to us that this is the best day of Jordy's life, and I believe it.
Yeah, that's unfortunately, I could see that being tops.
So, and how cool is it if it is the greatest day of your life for it to be documented?
Yeah, I mean, especially it has to be mostly because of the car, but
yeah,
I mean, when else is he ever going to get a chance to win a car? So
well, he wins the car. He's homesick. he gets the video of his dad, who had lost it, and he had lost his stepmom like right before they left. And it's like, wow. And, and then, you get the videos, like, the drive-in movie is, videos from home from people. And, even to get the emotional benefit of seeing other people's videos, I think makes for a pretty good day if you're out there, playing Survivor.
Yeah, and Jordy finally figured out who Juicy's loved one was, because he seemed genuinely shocked when Brianna popped up on screen.
Yes. So Jordan's little brother looks identical. Like, why didn't we get Jordan and his brother instead of instead of Josh?
He needed the co-pilot,
I guess. So we get Michelle, we get her mom. And her mom looks like she looks like the villain from like any of like an old Bruce Lee movie where you have the super rich boss, sitting, and sitting in their office, ordering all the other baddies to attack Bruce Lee, or she looks like the queen of the fucking Zoom meeting.
Yeah, no, you don't fuck with her.
Yeah, I mean, I got a shelf with fucking wrestling figures. Hold on, right there. I got wrestling figures and 4x6 pictures to send out to patrons, and then I got some badass pinball tables and a pool table. But she's got like Ming vases.
Yeah, no, I can hope that she at least was like, all right, we're gonna make this setup, make it look perfect. But I could also see that being, why would the house not look like this?
Yeah, no, bad. Way to go, Michelle's mom. You're kicking butt. Let's see. I wonder too that Josh is not as likable to me. Well, Josh is a pilot, so that's all that matters with Josh. He's a boring. I'm guessing most pilots are boring.
Yeah, and I mean, we know why they casted the two. I think it had way more to do with the looks. And I mean, even when we had Sandra on, it was Jordan knew nothing about Survivor. So I think this was more Josh's thing.
So, and with my pilot, I would rather my pilot, kind of be like laser focused on piloting versus, being the fun guy in the room.
Yeah. When you hold that many people's lives in the balance.
Yeah. Do you want me to be a pilot?
No. Not on a flight that I'm on.
Thanks. You do have a few. Well, I wouldn't use the word friends. You do have some people you would like on a flight with me.
I can think of a few,
as long as it's not you.
Yeah.
All right. So Brianna and Juicy Dave's wife, and Brianna, quite the shock. So then it's, God, Brianna's so hot. Brianna, you should have, man, because it was her and Shay. Who was it between? It was her.
Her and Shay were together. Yeah.
Oh, her and Shay were together. Who was?
But I think she was pushing for Chrissy.
It was between her and Chrissy, and I'm just like, man, as hot as Brianna is, I cannot live without Chrissy on this season.
Now Chrissy is just walking gold.
Yeah,
without even trying to be.
Yeah, so I'll stick with the tribe's decision. So Jordy reveals the whole Sam story, and Michelle thinks Sam's move is unethical. Why? Because she's a woman.
That's unfortunately what the trend has been, and it's bullshit.
But how can Michelle say, it's like, Michelle, stand up for the women?
Yeah. I mean, I think Michelle's point of view on that was more of, it didn't benefit her, and she clearly isn't in that alliance. So
what alliance was she in?
One with her sister, I think. I don't know.
Oh, sweet. How's that one working out? Oh, all right. So next, it's a narrow beam, long pole with a statue at the end for immunity, and it comes down to Jordy versus Jordan, and people are giving advice to Jordan and not Jordy. And 40 minutes in, Jordy digs deep, but eventually drops.
And I mean, Jordan just had all of Mark's military precision tips right there.
He did. He was right beside him with military precision. Way to go, Mark. So, yes, Jordan wins. Sam and Mark want Jordy out, but paying attention. I'm like, okay, fair enough. And KJ just wants to do better, or wants to do better than Sam or Mark. Is all she's going for in this game. That's pretty weak. That should not be where you're trying to finish on Survivor.
Yeah, do better, KJ.
Yeah, come on, you want to win.
Yeah.
Like we heard on 42 last Wednesday night. It's just like, I don't care about the money. Don't be on my show.
Yeah, that's you can find your calling or your life's meaning at other places. You don't need to come on to Survivor for that.
Go do volunteer work. I think the reward will be better for you. So Josh and Jordy are the linchpins, but if they make that move, Josh and Jordy are the linchpins to all this, to whatever happens, whether staying with the majority or working against. But if they do make that move, I feel they move to the bottom immediately.
Oh, absolutely. And I know what I was waiting for the entire time was, if you remember from the previous episode, it was Juicy being like, I have an idea.
I know.
Next vote.
But we don't get it. And I'm not shocked.
No, it was the least surprising thing.
Yeah. So people don't want to talk to Sam. And Sam reveals smartly that if a plan doesn't want to be discussed with you, you are the plan. And she's correct. KJ not saying anything to Sam. Sam figures that out pretty quick. Sam's paranoia continues to freak everyone out. This is a recurring theme throughout this episode and the last few. And then finally, Sam talks to Jordy. And pretty anticlimactic. Like, because Jordy's just like, Sam's just like, you're not talking to me. And he's like, all right, fine. Like, what can come of this? And they're both like, I guess nothing. It's like, cool. Nice talk.
Yeah, good talk. Good talk.
Good talk. Good talk. So Chrissy informs us this is going to be a hot mess. She is correct.
It's going to be the title of her autobiography.
Oh, she's. I'm all for that hot mess. All right. So the door is closed. Mark is watching Josh, Jordan, and Chrissy, and Jordy has the, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog, and I'm the underdog. And then we see scenes from the cartoon Underdog. Oh no, that's just in my notes. Sorry. So I'm okay. Like, it's a little bit cliche, but I think I'm okay with this one.
Yeah, at least it's something different than the Joker
or Idol.
Or Idol, yeah. So he learned a few more words out there, so we got to give it to him.
I'll take it. So Tribal, bring in the jury. Hey, we're missing one. So does everyone figure out at that moment there's obviously Purgatory?
You would have to, because it's
except for Juicy Dave.
Oh yeah, because he still doesn't have a grasp on what Survivor is, but everyone else.
Do you think Chrissy knows?
No, Juicy, Chrissy, and Jordan may have no idea where they're at, but I think the rest of them can figure it out.
Okay, so Jesse is proud of Jordy for winning the Isuzu. I don't understand why they we just call it Isuzu, and it's the same company. I don't know why it's Isuzu. It's much more enunciated in Australia. So Sam once again accused of stealing Jesse's idol, which I still believe is Jordy's, but I believe more than anything else it's Sam's because she has it. And she says she will empty her bag to the people at camp after Tribal. And we don't see the scene ever.
No. Do you think it actually happened? Because I feel like they would have included that in. Maybe not, but
well, it looks as though, we do see that, the next episode she moves the idol over to Mark's bag. But we don't see the reveal. And I'm guessing it's a rule in Australian Survivor you can't go through someone's bag.
Yeah, but then why would she move it to Mark's? Only simply so that she could dump her bag out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's it.
Yeah. So, but I'm guessing if that's the case, then you can't go through people's bags, which I'm a huge believer and you shouldn't be able to go through people's bags. So like I'd always said I wouldn't because I believe in the purity of the game and I feel like it's wrong to go through people's shit.
Yeah, it's someone's
So
personal property. Like
yeah. So
I get that it's a game, but if you're over at a friend's house playing Monopoly, you don't raid their medicine cabinet, when you go to the bathroom. Like
right? But at the same time, now in US Survivor, it's such you're kind of dumb if you don't. So I feel like I would now.
Yeah, because now it just seems like you're an idiot if you actually keep your idol or advantage in your bag. Like you have to bury it somewhere.
Yeah, but if you and you have to remember where you buried it.
Well, he only heard the first part of the sentence.
So, but if it's like a dog. But no, I'm guessing an Australian Survivor, and I'll ask to confirm this for next week's pod. But I'm guessing you can't, and I'm all for that. That should be I feel like that should be a rule in US. I mean, like, why are we co-signing in America to go through people's shit?
Yeah, I completely agree. You don't need it.
Yep. So maybe Catherine says maybe people should hide traps in their bag. Well, like a bear trap, and it cuts off your hand.
I know what my luxury item's gonna be.
I knew a girl that when you put it in, you never knew what you're gonna come out with.
Well, I guess that is a good hiding spot.
It's very good. Oh, I wasn't the first. All right, so Jordy then I think has the best line in Tribal. He's just like, look, people, they both have idols. Why wouldn't I be looking? I'm done trying to convince you people. I know I'm on the chopping block. You haven't seen me look for an idol because there's no point.
Yeah, as annoying as Jordy could be with, how he phrases some things and, being repetitive all the time, I think he's making really compelling arguments here.
Yeah. But finishing with, I'm done trying to convince you people. This is followed by Mark going, he's retreating. Said with military precision. It is so like all that was like the best statement by Jordy is so brilliantly counterattacked by Mark because they're just like, ooh, he is retreating. And it's just like, stop. Oh me. So Jordy to Sam, it's time to vote, and Jordy to Sam, he says, IE on the end, and I do appreciate that. I did explain to people that Jonny has no H prior to Tribal multiple times.
It's a conversation you had.
Yeah. So, and of course they would purposely misspell it just to be assholes.
Or yeah, or some people are just really bad at spelling.
That is true. I feel like there's
look at Ralph from Redemption Island. He couldn't spell Phil.
Big Tom.
Oh,
Big Tom has trouble spelling okay. I love you, Big Tom. I know you're not watching because it's technology, but you would if you could. So we get you got him. You got the Joker, Jordy, and immediately Jono with a twist. One more person voted out right now, and I'm like, holy smokes! Is this Mark or Sam? I don't know. Like without a build, I'm like, no, it can't be. And the votes are Sam, KJ, Mark, KJ, Mark, KJ, KJ, and KJ is voted out. She joins up with Jordy at the sign for Purgatory, and KJ says, "Do you know what's going on?" And I feel like I could have asked KJ the last 10 days that same question.
So, do you think that second vote off right away was planned that way, or it's just, hey, we already know what's happening, like let's just get through it, that way we can get to the next step of what we want to do?
I feel like it was planned.
Okay. Because I know there were sometimes you don't see it so much anymore, but when you used to see it in the US version, it'd be when one alliance was just picking off another. And it's like, we're not going to spend a whole nother hour on an episode that's this predictable.
We didn't need a KJ episode.
I don't think we needed a KJ episode.
There's no way to know for sure that it is a KJ. I mean, like 2 more days, Juicy Dave might have finally revealed his plan.
He woke up and was like, shit, was supposed to do that yesterday.
That was yesterday's plan. I feel like I can still do it. Wait, and we just see like Juicy Dave with a stick and dirt, doing the math, and he's like, yeah, I really should have done that yesterday.
Needed KJ. KJ was vital.
KJ. So hey, still a chance, Juicy Dave. The survivor gods will look down upon you. So with that, it's time to talk episode 18. But first,
Lucy Nicotine is a company founded by Caltech scientists and former smokers looking for a better and cleaner nicotine alternative. Finally, tobacco alternatives that don't suck.
Researched and developed for 3 years to be made for people, not patients. Lucy has created a nicotine gum with 4 milligrams of nicotine that comes in 3 flavors: wintergreen, cinnamon, and pomegranate. Lucy also has a lozenge with 4 milligrams of nicotine in cherry ice flavor. Each and every flavor actually tastes great, and it's convenient and discreet. Products can be enjoyed anywhere, on flights, at work, on the go, or even in the gym.
I am so happy that Lucy is sponsoring us. Ever since they came on board, I have gotten no less than 5 of my friends transitioned over to Lucy and put their cigarettes down. They like the gum. I'm used to seeing the packages all around. This stuff is great, and it's really helping people make much healthier choices. So get on board and join the Lucy movement.
Hey, it's 2021. Get rid of your cigarettes, unplug your vape, throw out your dip, and get some Lucy nicotine gum or lozenges. This is the real deal. A subscription to Lucy comes directly to your door each month. It's so simple that you don't even have to leave your house because Lucy has delivery down.
Reality NSFW listeners, go to lucy.co and use promo code SURVIVOR to get 20% off all products, including gum or lozenges. That's lucy.co and use promo code SURVIVOR at checkout. Also, I have to give this disclaimer. Warning, this product contains nicotine derived from tobacco. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. That's lucy.co, and be sure to use that promo code SURVIVOR.
This episode of Reality NSFW is sponsored by Blue Chew. Say it with us, Blue Chew. Blue Chew is making waves and bringing more confidence to the bedroom by offering chewable tablets that can help men get stronger and longer lasting erections. That's right, we're giving away super hard dicks.
Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's tablets help men achieve harder, stronger erections to combat all forms of ED.
Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor offices, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And the best part, it's all done online.
Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient and strength for your prescription. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem here. Blue Chew's sildenafil and tadalafil tablets are chewable. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy.
Hey, if you're looking to give that immunity idol to someone, or you don't want to be voted out of a crater, don't worry, Blue Chew's got you covered. So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information.
And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code SURVIVOR at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's Blue Chew, BlueChew.com, promo code SURVIVOR to receive your first month free. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
We're all trying to eat better, but healthy breakfast doesn't have to be boring. Magic Spoon has the amazing flavors you love, but without all the bad stuff. And it's amazing as a midnight snack right before bed.
0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. That's only 140 calories per serving.
It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. And build your own box. Available flavors to build your very own custom bundle are cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, cinnamon, cookies and cream, and my favorite, maple waffle. Now, Magic Spoon recently brought back their 2 super popular flavors, cookies and cream and maple waffle. Thank goodness. But they're back permanently. And when these flavors were first introduced for a limited time, they sold out extremely quickly. Now, I'm here to let you know you can get them again or try them for the first time. Why? Because they're delicious and indulgent.
Jonny, Magic Spoon has so many great flavors that I really enjoy, and even my kids enjoy them. We have the cocoa, fruity frosted, peanut butter. All these are really great combinations. They enjoy waking up in the morning and getting some Magic Spoon right off to start their day great before they head off to school. I think everybody listening should give Magic Spoon a try, or if you've tried them already, it's time to reorder. Let's get you some more Magic Spoon and get your day started right.
Hey, when I finish a podcast late at night, the first thing I'm thinking is not sleep. It's let me grab a delicious bowl of Magic Spoon before I go to bed.
So go to magicspoon.com/survivor to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code SURVIVOR at checkout to save $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/survivor and use the code SURVIVOR to save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this podcast.
Thank you, Magic Spoon. I got a whole house of people coming here today for brunch, and we're thinking eggs, bacon, hash browns, avocado, all that. You know what I'm thinking instead? Just bowls of Magic Spoon.
There you go.
Thank you. Promo code Survivor. And things work out well. I'll be having a Blue Chew tonight. Promo code Survivor and promo code get ready. All right. It's time for they're at Purgatory. Shay is excited for company, and Jordy says there's a storm coming. Yes, there is. And we're back at camp with our remaining castaways, and everyone notices Shay was not at Tribal, which has alerted them. Yeah. there's a twist because Australian Survivor does it every season.
Well, Juicy probably asked who's Shay, but then everyone else filled him in.
Yes. So Mel tells Sam and Jordy. Jordy told them too. Sam needs the idol in Mark's bag and does it in front of Mel. And holy moly, way to go, Sam! Because Mel doesn't do a lot, but possibly the most observant person remaining on this cast, other than Sam.
Yeah, if she had someone else who was like a mouthpiece for her, she'd be a pretty decent player.
Yeah. So Josh doesn't believe Sam has the idol, but still thinks Mark is dangerous. So it's now time for the ring toss and fireballs for immunity. And our final round is Mark, Josh, and Jordan, and into the fireball round. And Mark owns this. How?
With military precision.
Obviously. I
was going to say, was there any in doubt where you had to be precise? It was just just give it to Mark.
Yeah, and then boom, at Tribal, we learn that it will be the 17th person out and the 4th person heading to Purgatory. And this is difficult for Chrissy because we will have, at this point, after this Tribal, we will have 4 people in Perjury, Prejudice, or Purgatory?
It's one of those ones where you're just all around. It's like not quite, like you're getting there. You're getting there.
But here's where I feel that Chrissy is ahead of the curve on at least Juicy Dave, because she goes, this is Survivor, and there are at least 2 people coming back.
Yeah. Well, I feel like when you're looking at it, she seemed to listen to everything Croc said, and I'm sure Croc described it, where Juicy probably wasn't paying attention whatsoever when Brianna was explaining this to him.
Brianna's pretty distracting with her little bikinis. So I would like
not
to, think,
to her father, but
not to her father, I would like to think, but she's very distracting to me. So all right, let's talk about this twist here. So it's later revealed it's 3 people coming back. Is this too many, or is this what is necessary for the game to potentially be fun with Jordy and his band of misfits coming back and potentially doing something? Do we need 3 people coming back?
I think you could get away with just 2. I mean, I think if you're giving 3, you're really rooting for a comeback story.
Yeah.
Which I understand that's good TV, but they were voted out for a reason. Like,
yeah. But storytelling wise,
at that point there was 6.
Yeah.
And 3 came back to make it 9.
Which will give you numbers one way or the other.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I feel Jordy and Shay deserve to come back.
Yeah, like I think it just should have been 2, and I think those 2 should have been the one that came back. KJ could have just went to the jury. Would have been all right.
Yeah. So, but I storytelling purposes, I guess it makes the most sense. I just 3 out of 4 coming back just seem like too much. Like, as a player, I would just that's still in the game. Mm-hmm. I would loathe this. But this is Australian Survivor, and there's always something. Like, this is why people this is one of the few things that people don't like about Australian Survivor. Shit like this.
Yeah, no, I think it was a bit too much. I specifically like Jordy just trying to be like, no, we'll stick together, whether it's me or not, in the back of his mind, being like, there's no way in hell, like,
it's not me.
Yeah. Like,
whether it's me or not, let's do that, but it's gonna be me.
Because he's probably thinking that at least 2 are coming back, and he's thinking, all right, like maybe Shay gets me, but there's no way in hell the other 2 get me in any challenge.
Yeah.
And he ended up winning it outright anyway, so.
Yeah. So no, as a storytelling device, I think I like it, but as a player, I think it's just garbage.
Yeah. It's I don't know.
And at the end of the day, you're making a TV show.
Yeah, so obviously that's going to be more important, but I just think for what you would call like the integrity of the show or whatever, of the game or whatever, it's just I think it was a bit too much, but who knows?
Yeah. So next we see Mark wants Juicy Dave out because I'm guessing, Mark, using his military precision, has figured out that Juicy Dave has a plan that he should have done one vote ago.
Well, Juicy had it written and Mark found it, and that's why Juicy was like, I thought I was supposed to do something today.
I knew I had to do something today, but I forgot what it was. And then Mark found his beautiful mind equation written in the dirt with a stick. So the plan, as we're told, is a split vote on Dave and Michelle. And Josh and Jordan have decided now it's time to play the game, and they want to flush out an idol. And so we see Chrissy, Dave, and Josh are writing Sammy, and Dave has informed us that he's going Juicy. And I'm like, ooh, wow, I'm so ready that for something you should have done one tribal ago. And now it's time for Decoy Dave, the spooker, talking to everyone but Sam, and then finally Sam. And
those last minute conversations with her
I don't feel he spooked her.
No, he didn't.
I feel he did the exact opposite of spooking her. Like he was just like, yeah, you're good. And I'm just like, what? Is Dave saying you're good spooking you?
Maybe it's just that wild card. Well, I'm telling you, he lost lost a sheet of paper. Forgot his cue.
And Mark found it. So, and now it's in Mark's bag along with 2 idols.
So what did you think? So, we actually did hear from Josh and his whole plan of trying to, flush an idol, but without getting his hands dirty. Like, don't you think that's just getting a bit too cute with it?
Yeah.
Because there's no way it doesn't get back to one of them that he was involved.
Yeah. So I'm not overly impressed with Josh. As Josh wins this season drops in my opinion.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. So he's just a dullard on confessionals, and for me, that's 90% of the game is good confessionals.
Well, yeah, you'd have to imagine that. If what we're seeing from Josh is his best confessionals, like what is he saying to camera half the time? Because it's got to be awful.
Well, some people it's just pulling teeth, and other people they're just scared to be away from camp. Is something you have to, with me, I would show up for confessionals, and I was just like, look, give me the bullet points. I will give you those statements in my words and finish with a one-liner, and then I'm getting back as fast as I can.
Did you know when you were getting pulled, or is it just the producer comes up and says, now's the time?
Yeah, they just come in and just grab you. And some people would get pulled more than others. Like that's the thing that a lot of people weren't paying attention to. If someone gets pulled that like on Pro Islands, like me and Rupert would get pulled like 3 times a day because, we were the narrators. And we knew it and other people knew it. It was just, they're pulling them. So when you would pull and the others would get pulled once a day, maybe. Like everyone was not pulled every day. So if you saw someone like a Krista get pulled twice in one day, for me that's a red flag. I'm just like, okay, Krista's planning.
That was a tell that something's going on.
Yeah. So, but for but you would expect your storytellers to be pulled 3 times a day, and I don't think it was a red flag to be like people know that someone's narrating the season, and it was me and Rupert.
So, is there? I guess in Pearl Islands, was it Krista? Or was there ever a time where someone was getting pulled that tipped you off that something was going on that maybe you wouldn't have picked up on?
It wasn't. That wasn't the red flag that alerted me to what was happening because I had a pretty good read on everything that was happening. Like it was confirmation on my thought, but it wasn't the tell.
I got you. Okay.
So that's how it was for me. So Catherine says it reminds me slightly of Redemption Island or with the whole Purgatory. Yeah, I mean it's shades of that, but this is unique to itself, and I'm okay with the whole Purgatory thing, but it's as I said, it's a storytelling device, but the the confessional stuff, it's for those that like so. Josh, I'm guessing, doesn't get pulled every day for a confessional, and the more you get pulled, the better you get at it. So, but some people are just like I can say. So there was production wise, there was the A team and the B team, and I was on Drake, and and the other tribe was Morgan. We had the A team of producers.
Well, with you and Rupert,
yeah. So we had the A team. So once we got once it was time for the merge, the B team production came in, and so they would alternate. And I remember the first confessional I did post merge with the B team, they pulled me to go do a confessional, and they were like, we were like 20 feet from camp, and I go, this is too close. I say stuff that if I'm overheard, my game is destroyed. Because I'm giving you good stuff. I was like, so we need to go further out. They're like, we think we know what we're doing. And I was like, I think you don't. And so we went like 10 feet further out. And I was just like, ugh. And they were like, okay, Jonny, say this. And they just gave me the exact verbiage to say. And I'm just like, yeah, that doesn't work for me. I'm like, that's not what I do.
No, that's not a confessional.
And they're just like, well, that's what you do with us. And I'm just like, well, then I guess I'm not doing anything with you. And as we're fighting over them telling me the exact words to say, and they're like, just say this word for word. I'm just like, no. As we're fighting over this, Krista comes, she was like, hey, Fairplay, what are you doing? And I'm like, fuck you, we're done. And I went back and I'm just like, I'm like, I will never do confessionals with you. I'm like, you guys are idiots. You're like, you could have just destroyed my entire game right here. And the next day, the A team came in and they're like, Fairplay, we heard what happened yesterday. We're sorry. You will not do any confessionals with them for the rest of the season.
Do you know of any examples where someone like overhearing someone giving confessionals blown up someone's game?
I have. I mean, I'm sure it's happened because there's a B team every season.
Yeah. Well, that was what I was thinking, is that I'm sure that it's happened, but I'm also wondering how they would try to frame it, because obviously they wouldn't want it to be like, oh yeah, they overheard a confessional. So,
well, I mean, if it's happened in the last 20 seasons on US Survivor, I mean, it's not like we see what happens to lead to votes anyways, because it's more important to show people going over something, under something in a puzzle instead of that.
Or an island to go for an advantage.
Oh, sweet. All right. So Dave says that they're sending their best to Purgatory so that whoever goes to Purgatory can win. Dave, you don't have a good read on how many people are coming back.
His military precision is not quite as good as Mark's.
Yes. So at least 2 people are coming back. They have figured that out. Josh says someone might pull the trigger early, and it's time for tribal. And Sam writes Michelle, which I was like, ooh, we just had the conversation in which she said, I've never written your name. I'm not going to write your name. I just wrote your name. And it's if anyone has a hidden immune idol and you want to use it, now would be the time to do so. And I'm like, oh no, please tell me this isn't Sam. And it's not. No idols are played, and the votes are Michelle, Dave, Michelle. Go to Purgatory. And we get a 10-minute montage of them standing awkwardly, showing that that the losers are going to stick together when they come back in. They are going to be known as the Resistance. And I felt like I was watching Rogue One.
Yeah, we didn't need all that. We could have done that up in a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and be like, all right, we get what's happening.
This was not Empire Strikes Back.
No, it wasn't.
This was Rogue One.
I can only imagine they were going, and when they cut it, they're like, about 8 minutes short. What can we do to fill some time here?
Let's do a montage.
Everyone loves a montage.
Yeah, well, we got the montage, and so they're coming in. Our remaining castaways come in, and Mark says they're behind us. How does he know that? Because he has
military precision,
obviously. So the battle back challenge is a ball on an extended pole into a bucket. We learn that 3 people are coming back in, and everyone's looking at Jordy, and Josh says, "Come on back, and we'll send you back." Which I'm like, you know what? This is the best thing Josh has said in 18 episodes.
Yeah, because as soon as it was something like that, it was like, well, he'll be back. Like, there's no way he doesn't figure this one out.
So Jordy's back, joined by Shay and KJ. I'm okay with the 3 that come back. Of the 3, Michelle, as I said, I think the bond that the 3 of them forged living together in Purgatory could potentially work better than Michelle just showing up the last day. I mean, like, I feel like they've suffered on Purgatory and they're going to stick together, whereas Michelle was only there for a night. And I feel like Sam could say, look, I know you're mad at me, but you don't want to be with the losers, do you?
Yeah, I know. I definitely think the 3 that came back, it helps the bond. And plus, I think KJ needed to come back for Josh because otherwise he doesn't know who to vote for because he loves just throwing rogue votes on KJ.
Yes, that's true. All right. Let's see. The three that suffered the longest at Purgatory were the hungriest. That's why they did it. And Montchal is forced to throw her buff in the fire, which, whew, as a buff guy, I am wearing my Australian All Stars buff right now. I do have my Blood versus Water lava buff en route. Thank you, King George. And that would hurt because I remember on both Pearl Islands and so on Pearl Islands, I didn't get my pre-merge buff. So because when we had thrown them down, they put them in Ziploc bags and they gave everybody their buff. And I was doing a bunch of press that weekend. And so I was one of the last people to go get my buff from production. And the only buff that was left was one that was all stretched out. And they're just like, here's your buff. I'm just like, that was a girl's buff. They had used it as a shirt. I was like, that's not mine. They're like, this is all. I'm like, well, that's not my buff. So I'm not taking a buff this night. So I just left it. And so, but my Balboa buff, I snuck out with me, and they were just like, "Where's your buff?" I'm like, "I threw it in the fire." And they're like, "We're gonna check your bags." I'm like, "You can check anywhere you want, but you ain't gonna find that buff." So, and then on Micronesia, I knew that they had screwed me on my first buff. So I did that same deal. I shoved it down my pants, and they're just like, "Where's your buff?" And I'm just like, "I threw it in the fire." And they're like, "Okay." So, and then I have, where is it? Right here. That is from my torch from my torch. Yeah. So somehow production took it off my torch and sent it to a pretty high-ranking executive at CBS for me to have.
Wow. Well, that's pretty cool that you at least got that. Yeah, I mean, I could imagine having some attachment to the buff because, that's what kind of symbolizes your time up there and not wanting to just throw it into the fire to burn.
Yeah, but I sold my Balboa buff how long ago? 2 years ago now? I think I sold it for like $2,000.
I was going to say, I'm sure you did pretty well on that.
I did.
Not Russell Hantz well, but
Yeah. Oh my God. Has he explained why he's selling all his shit?
I can only imagine it's gambling debts, but I don't really pay attention to what he does. So.
I don't think he said that on his YouTube channel.
No. I that was my guess. Not.
He said he was going to give a story, but I can't watch it. Oh my God, they're tough to watch.
No, they're not good. I even tried to watch his video on. He was going to explain why he finally understands that he lost heroes versus villains.
Yeah,
and I got 30 seconds, and the music is louder than what his voice is. Yeah. And it was 16 minutes long. I was like, I give up. I can't. I'm not doing this.
Yeah. Well, he had a guy that was pretty good at doing his production, and shockingly, that guy is no longer working with Russell.
Seemed like he treated people so well. It's a shocker.
Yes. So coming up, episode 19 will be Jordy and his band of misfits versus the Elite.
Well, I think that, we were debating it. Maybe it's for the best they have three back that I think they've very well could pull something off. I don't know if they will because that group is apparently stuck together the first time, but hey, maybe something changes.
I feel like they're going to make a move and it's time to burn one of Sam and Mark's idols.
Yeah.
So even if they don't pull it off, I feel like if Mark and Sam burn one, because I'm not convinced that everyone else is convinced that they have two idols. So if they burn an idol, I feel like that removes the target off Mark and Sam a little bit.
Yeah. And especially, the later you get in the game with the pair, because now, we're back to 9 again, but you keep going and it just becomes dangerous if you have a parent, even if they only think they have one idol, like it's a lot of power.
Yeah. So, all right. Dan, fun couple episodes.
Yeah, really looking forward. I think the season's going to shake out pretty well, and be happy to come back to talk about that juicy win, you know?
Oh, we're all here for a juicy win. No matter what juicy person gets it, there's only one. So with that, guys and gals, did you see on CBS or on the Survivor marketplace that they're advertising the mug? It says, "Come on in, guys, and get yourself a mug."
I think you posted it to the Patreon group, and I think that's where I saw it.
How great is that?
Well, you know.
What the right hand doesn't watch the left, apparently. So, but join me in Nashville. I'm going to be there on 4/20, and I'll be joined by other castaways and potentially a surprise guest that is not a survivor, but pretty big name in the world of entertainment. So that's going to be on 4/20 in Nashville at Doghouse Saloon. Go to survivortix.com. That's survivortix.com. Get your tickets. And I'll be announcing other dates. I'm going to be in Durham at the Dirty Bull the week after that. And then in Charlottesville and New Jersey and Hamilton, Ohio. So that'll round up the season for season 42 viewing parties. But go to survivortix.com. That's survivortix.com. Join me live. Also, the best way to support the podcast is to become a patron. Go to adfreeNSFW.com. You get add to the secret Patreon Facebook group. You get links to Australian Survivor episodes from this season. Also, we're watching Australian Survivor 2019. We do exclusive after show there. Links to those episodes as well. And our weekly Q&A, which is Matt Bischoff's favorite podcast of the week. And I can't say as to where I don't love it as well. Dan, you a big fan of the Q&A? Love
the Q&A. Last week's was great.
Last week's might have been one of the best of all time. So if you want to hear what a Blue Chew will do for you, go to adfreeNSFW.com and get yourself a t-shirt at JonnyFairplay.com. One like this. You'll also get edition of Reality NSFW. And we got Nina shirts, Sandra Adios Mate shirts, Andy Caddy shirts, and more. Go to JonnyFairplay.com. Don't forget no H in Johnny. It's Johnny Fairplay, JONNY, FAIRPLAY.com. Get yourself Cameo. Cameo.com/JohnnyFairplay. And I'm donating, I think, 25% of proceeds of all my cameos to Ukraine. So yeah, get yourself Cameo and do something good while you're doing it. And with that, thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny Fairplay. Yeah, thank you. We'll see you later this week. Goodbye. Good day and goodbye. And for more Reality NSFW content, visit adfreeNSFW.com.